This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so yesterday just we understood what is Salesforce and how it is related to cloud computing. So before again I explain about the important points about what we discussed yesterday. I think some of you are from a non-technical background and some of the technical terminology people are not understanding. So for someone who is from non-technical, maybe from mechanical or civil or some other background, so just I'll be explaining about few basics. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about internet, server, all those things. When I say server, maybe some of the people they are not understanding. Okay, so what is this? Just let's try to understand. Okay, so for us, right, all of us we are using the laptop or maybe the desktop system in our home, right? So we also have mobile. We have mobiles, we have laptop or computer. So how we access internet? Okay, so to access internet, we have to either through mobile internet data or if you have the broadband connection, through that we can access internet and we can access the information. So for example, you are opening, so this is my laptop. Okay, so my laptop is connected to internet. Okay, because I have my broadband connection and so I have connected to the internet. Okay, so now through internet, so what I can do, if I open Gmail and enter, it will through internet it will reach the Google company server. Okay, so the Gmail, whatever the information we access, that is there in one of the Google server. It will be connected to the Google server through internet, either from your mobile or from your computer. So once you connect to internet, we need to give the address of the website. So when you give the address, behind that address might be connected to one of the server. Okay, so when we open gmail.com, it will be connected to the one of the Google server. Okay, so server looks like this. Server is like a supercomputer where terabytes of memory, RAM, processor, everything will be installed. Okay, so client side they maintain the server. So whenever we open any website internally, what will happen through internet? It will be connected to the server of that website and access the information from that website. Let's say if you open YouTube, so it will be connecting to one of the YouTube server and we see the videos which are present in this server, right? All the videos will be in this one of their server, right? So, and also to understand more, it will be like this. So there are many servers, not only Google company, right? When you open Facebook, when you open Twitter, right? So we open different websites. Behind each website, the website will be connected to one of the server. Okay, so if you see here, servers will be located in different countries, different continents. Okay, so all what they'll do, the companies they will connect the servers to internet. Okay, so always they will be turning on those servers and connecting, they connected to internet, so that whenever we try to visit the website, so the request will go to that server and from that server the information will be retrieved and we see in the browser. Okay, so that's what will happen. So all of us we try to access youtube.com, right? So all our requests will reach the YouTube server and we get the videos and we watch those videos. It's like that. Okay, so the thing is, internally the internet is nothing but internally connected through wires. Okay, maybe we use wireless modem, right? So let's say when you take internet, let's say if you take internet from Airtel company, so they provide modem and through Wi-Fi we connected to modem. But internally modem will be connected to one of the wire which is provided by Airtel company, right? So Airtel company, they'll connect that wire to, so one of the port in the, so if you see all these lines are in the oceans, right? So all these wires are connected with all the countries across the different continents. Okay, so at the end of the what will happen, irrespective of from whom you take the internet connection, the Airtel company or Act or some other Geo company, they will be connecting their wires to one of these ports, so that through this the information will be sent to the server. Suppose we are in India, right? In India, when you try to open youtube.com, okay, so our request will enter into one of this port. From here it will be traveled. Let's say YouTube server is there in US, right? It will travel to US and from there it will bring the information and again we see that. So that's what will happen internally. Okay. So internet is nothing but connecting the server and the computers together through internet so that we can access the information. So if you want, we can also connect our laptop to the internet, but you should not shut down. If you shut down, no one can access your information. So that's why when we say servers mostly they will not shut down. Okay, so unless there is a maintenance, 24/7 the servers will be up and running. So that's why we don't use our systems to make some website available and all those things. Okay, so just understand through mobile, through laptop, through internet. So if you try to open any website internally, behind that website, the information whatever we see in the website will be there in one of the server. It will be connected to that server through internet using all these ports and will access the information. So that's about how internet works and what is server and client means the mobile phone or the laptop, whatever we are using, we call it as a client, right? So client means we are requesting, right? So in my laptop, I'm opening youtube.com and enter, right? So I'm requesting. So our laptop is like a client and so we are giving the address of the server. So through internet, it will access that and view the information. So I recommend you to know this terminology. Okay, some of the people are struggling with this. That's why I'm explaining. Okay, the next thing what we need to know when you access any website, right, on day to day, maybe YouTube or maybe Gmail or any website, whatever we use on day to day, you see website will be having the presentation layer. Means when you open the website, what we see is, let's say I opened this website. So you are seeing some username, password, and the login button, right side, some image, all this information you are seeing. So this is the presentation layer, means the UI, right? The web page, the user interface, what we see. So when you interact here, for example, I'm clicking on this button. When you click on this button, what will happen? It will be connected to the business logic. That means in the background, some logic will execute, right? So when I click on login here, right? So when I click on login, what will happen? In the background, some logic will execute. So here it is validating the username and password, whatever I entered is present in the database or not. Okay, again, database means the table. So there can be many tables in the database. So we use database to organize the information in a meaningful way. So for you, if you see, we use Excel, right? In Excel, we store the data in table format. So like that, in the database, hundreds of tables can be maintained in an organized way. So when I interact on the UI, when I click on this, some business logic will execute. Through business logic, it will be communicated with the database table, and based on the match, right? So let's say here I'm entering username and password. If it is not matching, it is throwing error. It is saying it is not valid. If this username and password is matching with the database, then it will allow to log in, right? So if you see this application, so we have three layers. Presentation layer means what we see. Whenever we open the website, whatever we are able to see, that is a presentation layer. We call as UI. And behind that, some logic which we cannot see, right, will execute. So based on, sometimes it will interact with the database. Sometimes it will read the data from the database, or sometimes it will save the data into database. So these are the three main layers we need to understand. Okay. So here I think the UI is fine and the background logic is fine. So database means people will be having some question. When you say database, in the database there will be many tables, not one table, right? There can be many tables. For example, employee table, project table, departments table. It's like that, right? There will be many tables in the database. So the database gives some organized structure, how we maintain our information. Okay. So just understand, if someone say database, in database there will be many tables. Okay. The next thing, so this is the high level, the picture. So here when I say client is my laptop, right? Whatever the laptop now I am using is the client. And how we access one of the website, we open the browser, right? If you want to access internet, we need to open either Chrome browser or Firefox or Microsoft Edge, some of the browsers. We open the browser. Through browser, we need to give the address. Internally, the address will be like so 192.168. Something like that. Okay, but we cannot remember if there are some digits like that. We cannot remember. So that's why we see some meaningful address like gmail.com or youtube.com, like that. Okay, we enter that, and internally that website will be connected to one of the server. In the server, whatever the information is there, it will be retrieved based on the request what we send, right? So based on what you are, let's say if I search in the YouTube, based on my search only, it has to execute some logic, and from the storage, whatever the data is there, it needs to bring and show, right? Internally, all these things will happen. Okay. So this is the server, and then from the storage, the information will be retrieved. So I recommend you to know these basics. Okay. So that you can understand what we are going to discuss. Okay. Now already yesterday we discussed about what is Salesforce at high level. Again, I am explaining. Before we understand about Salesforce, we should know about cloud computing, right? Cloud means internet. When I say cloud computing, it is internet computing. Cloud computing is a concept where all the services, like using the application, developing the application, distributing the hardware, everything through internet, whatever the process we do, that is nothing but cloud computing. By following the cloud computing concept, there are some companies in the market providing some of the services. Okay. Salesforce is one of the company. Okay. By following the cloud computing concept, they are offering two types of services: software as a service and a platform as a service. Software as a service means providing the application as a service. So for example, whenever we register with Salesforce, they provide some built-in applications. Okay, so we can start using those applications. So that's the ready-made applications. Software as a service they are providing. On top of the applications, whatever Salesforce provide, if you want to modify as per the client requirements, they are also providing a platform. Okay, so technically we call that platform as Force.com platform. Okay, so more about this slowly we'll understand. Okay, so just understand there are some ready-made applications, and there is a possibility to modify those applications as per the customer requirements. Okay, they are offering two services, and also we discussed about the CRM. So what is CRM? CRM is customer relationship management. When you deal with any business, so mostly to manage the customer interactions, companies they follow the CRM process. Okay, mainly it includes pre-sales and post-sales activities, right? So let's say yesterday we discussed about Airtel company, right? So they need CRM to manage the day-to-day interactions with the customers in the market, right? So how they are using the CRM to advertise about the internet. Let's say they introduced a high-speed new internet. Okay, so to advertise about that, they give the advertisements, TV advertisements, paper advertisements, right? Maybe sponsoring for one of the event. So all the details of the advertisements they'll be storing in one of the table called campaign. So due to the advertisements, what is the benefit? Some companies in the market will respond. Let's say there is a software company, they need internet for 1,000 employees, right? So those kind of people will respond to the advertisement of the Airtel company, right? So when they get any request, let's say in this example, Coffee Day, right? So let's say Coffee Day started one of the new branch, they need internet for that shop, right? So they are like a lead for the Airtel company. Okay, so Coffee Day is a company, right? So someone from that company will be approaching. So that information will be captured as a lead. So Airtel company employees, they call to this lead, and if they are interested, the lead will be converted into account, contact, and opportunity. Okay, here account means the company, Coffee Day company. That information will be captured into account. The employee who contacted from that company will be captured as a contact. Deal, opportunity is a deal. So what they want, right? They want internet for 100 users bandwidth, right? So that's the deal. So let's say once they take the internet connection, the next phase is support. Let's say internet is not working. So whenever the Coffee Day company employees they call to Airtel, they will create a case and they will resolve the problem. Right? So for that cases will be maintained. If you see in each and every phase of the business and day to day to run the business, Airtel company they are using CRM. So like that, there are many companies use the CRM. Already we discussed yesterday at high level. Again, I'm explaining. Okay. So now the advantage of the Salesforce when compared to the other technologies, also I think we discussed yesterday. Okay. So assume that Airtel company need CRM. Initially, they want to. They decided maybe they thought that they can use Java to have the CRM application. So Java is only for business logic, right? So out of these layers, whatever here I'm explaining, so Java is only for this layer. For UI, right? The web page, they need a separate team who can work on developing the website. And in background here, the business logic Java can be developed. But it will also interact with the database. Maybe they need one team who can deal with the database, creating database and managing the queries and all those things. And also to have all this information, they need some space, right? They need some space to store all this information. They need a server. They need to buy the server. At least they need to wait for 6 months to have the basic CRM application, right? So, but Salesforce is not like that. Within few minutes, company can register for free and start using. Within 2 or 3 minutes, they'll be having the account. They'll be having inbuilt UI, inbuilt database, inbuilt server space, and everything, right? As a ready-made. That's the more advantage of the Salesforce, right? Let's see. Let's register for one of the account and see how quickly you can create and access all these things as a ready-made, right? So inbuilt UI, inbuilt business logic, inbuilt database, inbuilt server space, everything will be provided by Salesforce. Okay, so let's see how it works. The thing is, really, when you are exploring and working for a client, so they have to talk to Salesforce sales team, right? Salesforce editions. In general, you see there are different editions. Company will decide. Okay, the Airtel company, they talk to Salesforce sales team and they explain about the requirements, how they want to use Salesforce. Based on that, Salesforce will suggest which edition is suitable. Okay, so based on the edition, the features, whatever available will vary. Okay, so more about that we'll discuss in future. Okay, so in general, companies will register here and use for 1 month. If they satisfy, they will pay and continue. So that's what they'll do. But here we don't want to pay anything, right? We are starting newly with Salesforce and we are not ready to pay. Okay, so just we want to explore how Salesforce works, right? How it looks. And so since as an administrator, as a developer to practice, there is a free account, right? So all these are the different editions which are paid. Okay, so strongly don't register here. Okay, even though I'm saying like this, people are registering here and saying they are losing account. If you register here, after 30 days, your account will gone. It will be removed if you don't pay, right? So from our side, no need to register here. Okay, really when you work for a project, the client might be already registered and purchased. Okay, so someone who want to start with Salesforce, to have the free account, we need to open developer.salesforce.com. This is a website. Yes, as a first step, all of you, what you need to do, you need to register in this account, right? So registration. Right? So I'll say this is a free, right? Free account. We call this account as developer edition account. Anyone who want to start their career with Salesforce as an administrator, as a developer, as a tester, as a consultant, as an end user. End user means, let's say for Airtel company, one of the sales rep is joining in Airtel. Okay, that sales rep got to know that Airtel company is using Salesforce, and he want to know how Salesforce looks and how the applications we can access. So that person also can register and explore how it looks, right? So all of you, you need to go to this website and do the registration. For our class purpose, I will be registering for one account, and on day to day, I'll be logging into that account and teach about all the requirements what we are going to discuss. For you, you should have your own account, right? Whatever I am creating is for the class purpose for everyone, right? So I'm not going to, I'll also provide access, but you should not work in our class account. Our class account is only for your reference. On day to day, what I am creating to refer and practice in our own account, you have to refer class, okay, the class account. But all of you, you should create our own account and practice in our own account. Okay, let's see how we register. Okay, now, so let's assume that this Airtel company, they want to start with Salesforce, and let's say Abhi is one of the person responsible to get the CRM, right? So Abhi is one of the person, and initially they have 5 team members. Abhi and 5 team members. That team is responsible to have the CRM application for the Airtel company, right? So let's say they called Salesforce sales team, and the sales team suggested to have the unlimited edition, right? So first what they'll do, they click on try for free and fill the form. So since we don't want to pay, I'm not filling the form here. Okay, assume that we are filling here, right? So when you fill here, we'll have the account, but which is 30 days free trial. But we don't want this. We don't want to pay after 30 days. Instead of this step, I'm registering here, which is lifetime, right? The developer edition account is lifetime. There is no expiry unless you don't log into your account for 6 months. Okay, so just understand this point. So this person, let's say Abhi is one of the person is registering and see how Salesforce looks. Okay, so click on sign up. Go to this website and click on sign up. Okay, so enter your first name and last name, right? Okay, so let's say I'm giving some name. I need some name. I'm giving this name. Okay, when you register, you can give your first name and last name, whatever you want, right? And here email address should be the correct email address. Don't think that you give something and it will work. Okay, it won't work like that. So we have to give the valid email address, because to set the password, we need to check our email address and set the password. Okay, so give one of the valid email address. I'm giving my email address. Okay, and the role can be anything. Okay, so just to choose whatever is there first. Okay, technically this can be anything, whatever you want you can choose. Let's say I'm choosing developer. Company name, in general, the company name what you are working, or it can be anything. If you like some company, give that company name, or if you don't want to give anything, just give test or home or something like this, right? Whatever you want you can give, but this place is for the company name, right? So let's say we are assuming about Airtel, right? Let's say for Airtel company. Okay, I'm giving Airtel is the company name. Okay, so which country? So in general, company headquarters. Okay, so this is our free account, right? It's up to you, whatever the country you want, you can. Since I'm in India, I'm giving India. If you are in US, you can give US. It's up to you. The difference is Salesforce is having hundreds of servers. Okay, when you sign up, we get the space in one of the server of the Salesforce. Okay, for example, if you see here, right here, all these are the different servers, right? Like this, there are Salesforce is having hundreds of servers. Okay, some of the servers are located in India, some of the servers are located in US, some of the servers in Europe, in different places. So if we choose India, it will be getting the space, because for India, one of the nearest server is the Indian server. So it will take the Indian server. It's like that, right? If you choose US, we get the server space in one of the US server, like that. Only that's the difference. Okay, technically, you can choose anything. The pin code can be anything. Okay, just they are not validating. You can enter some pin code. If you give valid, it is good. If you don't want to give something, it is fine. Okay. The next thing, username. In general, when you work for the client, how they follow: first name dot last name at the client company name. So this account is for the Airtel company, right? So let's say Abhi dot first name dot last name at Airtel.com, right? So it's like that. Technically, it should be like this, but it's up to you. Whatever you want, you can give. This place is for the company name, but you can give anything, whatever you want, right? So I'm giving batch 101. Okay, because I'm following this format. So I'm giving like this. Okay, but this place is for the company name. And also to make it simple, I'm not giving last name, right? So this one. And also here, when you sign up, automatically the company name will be added to the URL branding. In URL, you will see whatever system generates a unique URL, in that the company name will be there. But here I don't want to see like this. Here I want to see this one. Okay, but this place is for company name. Okay, instead of company name, I'm giving as batch 101. In your case, you can give some company name. Okay, so in your case, you have to give your details, not exactly these details, right? Don't try to give these details. You need to give your email address. You need to give your first name, last name, and your details, your username, whatever you want. Okay, you need to remember this. Going forward, we are going to log in with this. Okay, so click on sign up. So when you click on sign up, it might take few minutes to set up the account. Maybe immediately if you go and check the email, you might not see any email. Okay, wait for few minutes. Maybe wait for 5 minutes and check your email so that your account will be ready. You need to set the password and log in. Okay, until it is going to create. So I am saying that this account, whatever we are registering, is free, right? Maybe people might misuse, right? If they are providing for free, why people need to buy, right? Why people need to pay and buy the Salesforce account? There are some limitations, right? In this the free account, right? This we say developer edition account, free developer edition account. So some of the points, the main disadvantage, right? The space, the server space, whatever they allocate to store the data is only 5 MB. Data space is only 5 MB of the data, 5 MB of the space Salesforce will allocate for the free account. Practically for the business, right? Really, if the company want to use Salesforce, 5 MB is not at all sufficient. Okay, so very small amount. So companies deals with the GB, right? Maybe they need 10 GB, 20 GB, 100 GB of data. So this is one of the limitation. But for us to practice, to start understanding about Salesforce, this 5 MB is sufficient. Okay, that is one thing. And also in the free account, Salesforce is providing 2 users licenses. Okay, so now if you when you say we are registering, we are not registering for the individual person, right? Now whatever the registration we are doing, this registration we are doing for the Airtel company. That company is having thousands of employees, right? So all those users might log in and access the information, right? This is not for personal purpose. This registration is for the company purpose. One of the person is registered behalf of the company. That person will be creating few more other users to log into this account and access, right? So like that. So 2 users can be created with Salesforce license. Again, there are some user licenses. Going forward, we'll understand about these user licenses. Okay, so by default, you see 2 licenses provided by Salesforce. So one of the next thing is, whenever we register, right? So whatever we get is the production of the Airtel company, Airtel production, right? Production means the live environment. Okay, so now due to the registration, whatever Salesforce allocate, that account is the production account. Means all the Airtel employees going forward, they will be logging into that account and create some data, maybe creating advertisement, generating the leads, all those things they'll do. Okay, so in general, once let's say this Airtel company, they need some enhancements on top of the existing applications. Directly, any enhancement or any new features needs to be added. We should not work in the production. Okay, so not only Salesforce, any technology if you take, we don't directly do the development or configuration in the production. First, we do in the test environments. After doing the testing, we deploy to production. That's what the process we follow in any technology, not only Salesforce, right? So here, one of the limitation is the test environments cannot be created, right? So if you want to make any change, you need to directly change in the production, which is not good. It's a problem when you really deal with the client application, right? So in Salesforce, this test environment we call as sandbox. Okay, so sandboxes cannot be created. Okay, these are the limitations with the free account. Okay, but as a administrator, as a developer, as a end user, someone want to start with Salesforce, these limitations are fine for us. We really not doing the business, right? We are just exploring how it looks. Okay, so just keep these points in mind. Now by this time I might be received one email. Just I'm checking my email, right? I'm just opening my account. If you see, I got one email, right? So this is the email, right? If you see in the company place, whatever I gave, instead of Airtel, I gave batch 101, right? So it is coming in the URL, and this is the URL. Maybe this URL is difficult to remember, right? So going forward, if you want to log in, you need to open this URL and log in. Otherwise, there is a generic URL. Okay. So whenever we log into the production, system generated a unique production URL. This is the unique production URL, right? So if you don't want to remember this one, unique production URL, but we may not remember unless you bookmark in our browser, right? So generic prod URL, right? Maybe we don't know, maybe we work for multiple clients, maybe Airtel and Apple company, for different clients we work. That time remembering all their URLs is very difficult. In a generic way to log into production, the URL is login.salesforce.com. Okay, so someone, right, once we register, going forward from where we need to log in, go to this login.salesforce.com and log, right? This is a generic URL. If someone say, what is the URL to log into Salesforce production? We have to say login.salesforce.com. Okay, no need to remember this. This is when you register, you might be seeing a different URL, right? So this is a generic one we should know. Now go back to that email. Let me set the password. So we have the username, right? So here in this production, we have the user, but we need to set the password, right? So let's set the password. I'm going to give the password like this. Okay. So click on verify account. Yeah.
Yeah. When we have an ability to when we can use the generic URL, what is the purpose of the system to provide us a unique production URL? Like, if anyone can use the generic URL, there is no need of providing us the unique URL by the system, right? Why is it providing us?
Yeah, understood. So when you deal with the generic URL, right? Let's say login.salesforce.com. So here, if you see the logo, this is a Salesforce branding, right? So here you are seeing the Salesforce logo, right? And this client don't want to give the Salesforce branding, right? Let's say Airtel company, the employees, if they want to log into Salesforce, if they use this generic URL, they'll be seeing Salesforce branding. But Airtel company don't like. They want to have their own logo, right? When you have the
Okay.
custom domain created, we have more control on. Airtel company can decide what is the logo. In this place, the Airtel company logo can be displayed. So for that purpose, okay.
Okay.
So maybe to show you, Just I'm trying to for this. So I'm just trying to log into one of my account to show you.
Okay.
Or maybe going forward, I'll show you. Okay, so
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you can show me anytime. Yeah. Thank you.
your logo you can show in the custom domain. Okay, so if needed, going forward, I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so that's about that. And any other questions, anyone? I think only CRM applications or any other applications can be created. The other applications also we can create. Okay, so Salesforce, they provide by default the CRM application. Yeah.
Srini, answer this side. I have a question. So, in the Salesforce, can we create a new applications as well, right?
Yes,
Or can we do the customizations only?
we can create the new applications also.
From the
Okay.
scratch, is it?
From the scratch we can create. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, when I say Salesforce, yeah,
One more question. You can answer
yeah,
together. So
yeah.
most of the companies are looking to customize the existing one, or they want to do it from the scratch. What are they looking for? Like, what are the skill sets they are looking for mostly? Like,
So mostly they want to customize on top of the existing
existing
features,
one.
whatever Salesforce
Okay.
offer. Okay.
Okay.
It's all based on which kind of applications company want to develop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say
Okay.
for sure the company need CRM application, either for
Mm-hmm.
sales or either for support or either for marketing.
Okay.
They choose Salesforce, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be having the application related to marketing or sales or service on Salesforce platform.
Okay.
Since they have access to Salesforce,
Mm-hmm.
Salesforce is also offering platform, right?
Yes. Yes.
Let's say,
Exactly.
yeah, let's say they have a requirement to maintain the invoices provided by the
Mm-hmm.
client. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
invoice management, they have one of the new project. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
for that they can choose Salesforce and develop. Right? Let's say the
Okay.
company is doing the recruitment. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to manage the recruitment related information, they can choose Salesforce and develop. Right? So
Okay.
recruitment is maybe not related to CRM. Right?
CRM. Yes.
Still,
Exactly.
still
Okay.
they can develop. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
leave management, right?
Mm.
Leaves in
Yes.
company
Yes.
we use some applications to apply the leave and manager
Mm-hmm.
should approve. Instead of purchasing some other platform leave
Mm.
management HR system, the client might ask to develop the application within Salesforce, right? So
Okay.
all those
Got it.
advantages are there. The point
Yes. Got
is
it.
they offer the CRM applications. On top of that, we can also create the custom applications as per the need. Okay? It's
Okay.
not limited to only CRM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. And also, what are the types of applications developed with Salesforce? Obviously, the web-based applications, right? We can only develop the web-based applications and mobile applications. Nowadays, once you develop the application, that application can be accessible through uh, desktop, through laptop, through tab, through mobile, through smartwatch also, right? So that much compatibility is there. Okay, so any web application, when you say web application, that can be opened in any device. Okay, so developing standalone means installing in our system and using such kind of applications we cannot develop, right? Because cloud based means we should have internet. Through browser only we can access all these applications whatever we develop. Okay, so someone asked that question. Okay, so yeah, coming back to this process, right? We are in the process of setting the password, right? So just I clicked on verify account and I'm setting the password. Okay, I'm giving the password as sfdc@123. Okay, the thing is, even though you know the username and password, still you cannot log in. Okay, so if you see here, I'm keeping, right? This is the URL. You need to go to that website, enter username, enter password. Even though you enter all these details, you cannot log in. Okay, so additionally, whenever we try to log in from the new internet IP address or from new browser, system will additionally ask for the verification code, which will go to your email address or the mobile number if you register your mobile. Okay, so such kind of security Salesforce enforce. Okay, here security question. Maybe you should not tell your secret question to anyone, right? So for me here, I'm giving in a generic way. Okay, and change password. Okay, so that's it. Now we got access, right? But technically it take only few minutes, right? Now since I am explaining many things, this much time it took, but within 5 minutes you can register and log in and have access, right? So when compared to other platform, right? Java, we discussed that it takes 6 months. Here it takes only 5 minutes to register and have the account, and which is working, right? Now if you see, we logged into this account, right? Which user logged in? If you see, this is the profile. We logged in as Abhi, one of the user, right? So in this is what the Salesforce production I'm saying. Okay, to understand about this, we call this one as Salesforce production account or Salesforce production organization, right? Organization means company. Account means company, right? So in CRM, what I told, account means it's a company, right? This we created for Airtel company. So people say Airtel Salesforce production account or production organization. Organization means company, right? People use short form, production org. So if people say production account, production organization, production org, right? So just we should know all those things, right? They are referring to same production account, or people say production organization, or people say production org, or people say production environment. The meaning is same. Okay, just understand. So they are referring that is a company account. So in that account, who can log in? This is not for one user, right? So maybe at present we have access in this company, only one user is there. Going forward, this user can create few more users. Okay, so left side for now, once you log in, immediately left side, search for users. Okay, click on users. Here the users can be managed. In general, the primary user, whoever registered, we registered with this user, becomes the system administrator, right? System admin means full power. This user can create some other users, can deactivate some other users, all those things can be done. Okay, so this user can create few more users. For, let's say, here we are discussing 5 other team members, they are responsible to get the CRM application. This user can create the credentials for other 5 users also from here. Okay, so that everyone, they can connect with their own username and password. It's not that they'll be sharing same username and password to log in, right? Each person will be having their own username and password and log into the. So it's like that. Okay, so just understand about that. So now, but we created only one user, right? Here you are also seeing some other users. So we call these users, maybe people say service accounts, right? Service account means these are not associated with a particular employee, right? So if you see these names, user security, maybe for security purpose, anything related to security to manage. So they are maintaining a generic user called user security. So maybe integration related things to manage. Salesforce is providing one of the user, right? So I mean, when you say integration user, let's say in the company, we'll be seeing emails like hr@company.com, admin@company.com, right? Like that we see, right? Admin@company.com is for a particular person or to whom, whoever joined in that company as administrator, that person will be having access to admin@company.com. In the same way here, these are some generic users which are automatically generated by Salesforce. For now, you can ignore. Okay, so we only registered with this user. Okay, we can also create few more users. How many users we can create? All those details about this organization, right? About this company, about this whatever the account we got, we can see under company information. Left side, search for company information. Okay, so click on company information. Now if you see, this is company information, right? So this is for the company name. I gave company name as batch 101, right? This person is the primary contact. Okay, so now if you see the time zone of the company, America, Los Angeles, if you want to change as per the company headquarters, this can be changed, right? We can edit and change. And also here, the data space, right? The data space. So click on view. And if you see data storage space is 5 MB. Really for real business, 5 MB is not sufficient. Okay? But for us, it is sufficient to practice. Okay. So files storage, maybe you can upload PDF documents, images and all those things. So 20 MB. So these are the some of the limits. Okay, so go back and a few other limits. If you see user licenses, Salesforce license, total licenses to consumed 1, right? The current logged in user Abhi, right? This person belongs to this Salesforce license. We can create one more user with this license. Okay, so the licenses and all the information we can see here. So slowly going forward, we are also going to create few more users. Okay, for now, with this user only, I'm going to explain how it works. Okay, so this is the procedure, and all of you, you also need to go to, after this session, you need to go to this website. You need to fill the form and have the account. Okay, and once, one of the main challenges, so once we registered and once you log out, again tomorrow or next time again, if you want to log in, where we need to go? So again, people are going to developer.salesforce.com, and here people are clicking on login and try to log in, right? So the thing is, no need to again open this website to log in. Okay, so once you, only for sign up purpose, we need to go to this website. Once we complete the sign up and once we logged into Salesforce, next time, either your custom domain URL or the generic URL, login.salesforce.com, you need to open that, right? So on day to day, to log into your developer edition account, what we created, you need to open login.salesforce.com, provide the username. In our case, this is the username, right? I'm giving this username and password. I'm giving the password and click on login. So this is the way we log in on day to day. right? First time, right? Once you log out and log in, it asks to set the mobile number. The advantage is, if you try to log into your account from a different browser or from a different internet, that time it will additionally ask for the verification code. If you don't give your mobile number, the verification code will go to your email address. You need to check your email and give the verification code. If you want to get that verification code to your mobile number, here you need to give your mobile number. You can choose your country and give the mobile number. For me, if it is my personal account, I give my mobile number, right? So this is for class, so I'm not giving. I don't want. Okay, so I'm fine to get the verification code to the email. But in your case, it's better to have mobile number. Okay, so this is how we need to log in. Okay, and also once we log in, one of the topmost thing what we need to know in Salesforce, people refer as Lightning Experience and Salesforce Classic. Okay, so when people say Lightning Experience and Salesforce Classic, that is referred to the look and feel of the website, how it is. Now, whatever by default we are seeing is Lightning Experience. The way how you click here and how all these things are opening. This is one of the modern UI. This kind of experience we Salesforce is calling as Lightning Experience. From long time, Salesforce is having the old look and feel. Okay, when you click on this icon, top right, we call this one as view profile, right? When you click on that one, so here we have an option, switch to Salesforce Classic, means the old experience. Okay, so click on Salesforce Classic. When Salesforce started, until 2015, the look and feel of the Salesforce was like this. Okay, so it used to be looking like this, right? But nowadays, due to the website can be accessible through maybe phone, maybe through smartwatches. This experience is not that much compatible with other kind of devices. Okay, so that's why Salesforce they came up with the Lightning Experience with a better latest frameworks which make the UI performance more better. Okay, so for us no need to mostly bother about the classic. Most of the times we'll be discussing with the Lightning Experience. Okay, mostly we again you can click on switch to Lightning Experience and it is switched to Lightning Experience. Most of our admin training and development training we do through Lightning Experience because which is latest. Salesforce is encouraging to use the latest experience. But in some cases, still we should know, maybe when you join in a company, in some projects, still people are using Salesforce Classic. Sometimes we also switch to Classic and I'll explain few things. Okay, but 90% will be discussing about this Lightning Experience and all the features. Okay, yeah, so before proceeding further, any questions, anyone so far? So any questions? So just get to know the main thing. We have Salesforce Classic and Salesforce Lightning Experience. Okay, mostly we deal with the Lightning Experience. Okay, so you can ask your questions. So far, if you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions? No questions? Okay. So
one more. I have one
what
question.
Yeah.
Sir, is there only visibility change or is there any application change in the Salesforce Classic between Lightning Experience?
Yeah, so mostly I think you can stay on mute until I complete. Okay. So mostly the look and feel is different, and some of the features also might be different. Okay, but 80 to 90%, most of the all features are common between the classic and lightning. Okay, only the UI related features might vary. Maybe some features you see only in the lightning, some features you see only in the classic. Okay, but the background, right? When you say these three layers, right? So the presentation layer features might be different when compared to Salesforce Classic and Lightning Experience. The background business logic and the database is common, right? On top of the common business logic and the database only, both Salesforce Classic and the Lightning Experience, those are developed. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So any other questions? Okay. So tomorrow we discuss about few more important points, right? I think still this security and some of the features we'll discuss and continue. You can ask questions still if you have. Okay. Okay. And also, so I'll also explain how I'm going to give some assignments and apart from what I'm explaining in the training. So where you need to refer and practice all those things I'll explain tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.